Hello everyone. This is a response to 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 Addicted to Minis and Loving It. And he said something about my triplet Loupe, calling it like he said I don't have one of these because I'm dumb. I'm like, that was hilarious. I left a comment on his video, checkmate, that I'm dying laughing. It was very funny. But the reason why you want to have one of these is when you are looking at ones like this, obviously this one's kind of slick. You can see any details that are left on it. Now it's got a divot in the face too. And he said he don't really like this design too much because they're all slick, worn out usually, and a lot of them are. And I mean, even when you look at Mercury dimes like this one, it's kind of slicked up too. And most coins, when they're in slick condition, are not very good looking. Now, a lot of your Roosevelts won't have much wear like this one doesn't really. But let's face it, he's an older man, and I don't really think too many people thought he's particularly good looking. But that's a different question. But anyway, I'm going to defend the honor of the Barber slightly. If you get a little bit better detailed ones, like the coin dealer here said, fine, and you can kind of see some of the details on the coin, it looks better than what some people give it any credit for. This is the same type of reef that is on later, seated Liberty dimes and half dimes after a certain year. That says it's fine. This one also says it's fine. Does have a slight polished look to it. But when you get it up here and look at the details, you can see part of Liberty on it. And the face is taking a little bit of shape. That all gets worn off on these pretty quick. Again, the back, they're all the same. We'll go on to 1910 that they say fine on it. Now, again, you get a little bit of details that all the worn out ones does not have. And I mean, the reef doesn't look too bad when you can actually tell what it's supposed to be. I mean, he does have a point. The slick ones don't look all that great. Now, this one says VF. Very fine. Liberty's pretty much fully visible. You can read all of it. And when you look at it, all the teeth, spokes, nodules around the edge are there, and they're not worn off into a flat spot. The back, again, there's more details on, and it's an old mint one. In fact, 1909 would be the last year of Orleans Mint making them. The last one I have here claims to be extra fine in terms of details. Liberty's fully visible. You can see all the stuff, all the details are on here. Now some of them are worn some, but the face takes a rounded shape. It's a 1915. You look on the back, and at this kind of condition, you can make out that's an ear of corn, it's wheat, another ear of corn, and leaves, and some wheat stalks. And that part right at the top, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. It almost looks like, I don't know, a flower bud maybe? Who knows? But anyway, you get to see the details that they actually put in the coin when it's not worn out. So now if you've got, we'll start with this Barber quarter. It says someone wrote very good plus, which would be a grade 10, VG10 probably. 1914. You can see part of Liberty on it, and you can see the face is the same as the dime has. It's not But the back on this and the $1/2 is about the same. There might be some slight differences, but once these wear off the rims, the tips start, or the wings start getting into the rim part, and then you're losing a lot of the edge, which this coin has. That's why it's kind of a nice one. This one's probably been somewhat cleaned or something, harshly I'd say. But again, you can make out details on it that the worn out ones don't have. And you can kind of see there's something to the coin other than just an ugly slick. It's kind of a nice looking one, even though it has surely been cleaned. We can see the individual stars and all the other stuff on the coin. This is why you want to have a loupe. Once you start getting coins that are a little bit better grades, you have to be able to tell why this would only be fine details instead of very fine. Because certain parts that would have to be on here in sharper to be very fine are gone. Now let's talk about $1/2 a little bit. We have a couple of them to show. This one says F details. If I can get it to focus good. Liberty's gone. It has a cleaned, almost polished look to it. Wasn't terribly expensive when I bought it, $12, and most $1/2 were going maybe a little bit cheaper than that. This too is an old mint one. And you can kind of tell by looking at this, the design's pretty much the same as the $1/4. Now this one says good plus. It's a little bit lower grade, but this is more natural looking and not looking like it's been cleaned. Although, I mean, that looks like a marker, you know, magic marker, permanent marker on there. It's kind of bluish, purplish. This is a 1906. It too is an old mint one. But again, you can kind of make out the details, designs on it, and tell that it's about the same as the quarters back. We'll show these two. This is good plus. This is very good plus. And you can kind of see there's a little bit more detail on the quarter than what this half has. You flip it over, you can see the shield has a little bit more detail left on it. You can actually see some of the lines. On this one, you can see some of the up-down lines, but not the cross lines, which you can't see the up-down lines on that shield very much on this one, but you can see the cross ones. So these things have weird wear patterns too, but that is kind of what I wanted to get at. If you got better looking Barber coins, you're probably going to like the design a lot more than if you have totally wasted, you know, worn out ones like this. I mean, this is hard to look at because, well, it is silver, but it's just so worn. Oh, so that's why you want to get one of these. If you're going to look at better grade coins, you have to look at them closely to know what you're looking for. This isn't something that gets graded, and you can kind of tell it's hardly seen anywhere. But if you pop the loupe on it and take a closer look, you can see details on it that if you don't have real good close-up vision, you're not going to see. And reading this might be pretty hard if your close-up vision isn't very good, but when you use this, it allows you to read exactly what this says. So I recommend getting one. This particular one I bought from Daniel, Coin Help You. It was $6, and it seems to work pretty good. It's a little bit bigger lens, being that it's a 20.5. A lot of them are 18, and they're just smaller. I like a little bit bigger lens to look through. But pretty much that's my thought process about Barber coins. If you're buying the slicks, yeah, they don't look good. Any slick coins really don't look very good. But when you get a little bit better detail ones, whatever beauty the design had is there instead of being worn off. So that's why I like having a loupe. and why I like using it in my videos, because you can see stuff that this isn't going to stay focused without using the loupe. Once I get it up close to the camera lens and hold this loupe here, it locks in pretty good. If I just hold it like this, it has a tendency to go in and out of focus. That's why I use, see, it focused good there, but if I move it some, it'll drop out of focus and in and out of focus, and it's annoying when you're trying to show something for that to happen. But I wanted to make a response to Addicted to Minis, because it's very funny when he said, I don't have one of these because I'm dumb. It's not dumb. It's just if you're just buying melt style coins and you're not really looking for premium coins, once you start looking at premium coins, this is something you're probably going to want to have one, just so you don't buy something thinking it's better than it is. Then when you look at it closely, you find out, hey, that's not as good as I thought it was. And then one other thing, he was talking about these card mounts and how you can buy these coins sometimes cheaper. Well, one thing my coin dealer did tell me, he said a while back when silver was rising rapidly and half dollars were running usually about $6.75, $6.50, and then it went rapidly up to where they were starting to sell for $10 for just the common date ones. You know, worn like this one is. This isn't a real common. These O-mint ones are a bit lower mintage than a lot of the Philadelphia ones are. But anyway, what I was getting at is I bought a Walker off of him that was priced at $14, and it was probably extra fine. And he told me that, because I asked him, I said, would you change this if silver goes up all the way to where these half dollars are running you about $14? He kind of said probably not, because it's a lot of extra work. And if they got to where half dollars were $14 and that would be 28x, that particular one being a better condition one probably should cost you 18 or 20 bucks, because it's slightly premium over the ones that are worn a whole lot. So that's why you can get bargains on some of these a little bit mid-range ones that are a little bit better than the standard coin is when the price is going up a lot. If this was only a $4 coin, you know, and worn out, and this one's a lot more. Well, this is probably not a good example because it's quite a bit more expensive, but let's say $4 Washington quarter, and you have one that is an older one that's in pretty close to mint state, and it probably costs you 8 or 10 bucks. Well, if the price on the quarters raised to $8 and the guy's got one of those for 10, and months ago he would have had it for 10 when they were 4, you've gotten a bit of a deal on a little bit more premium coin. So that's kind of nice to do too. But these Barbers, the amount that are much better than very good starts dropping off rapidly, because they stayed in circulation for a long time and got worn out to where a large part of the ones you are going to find are going to be slicks. But anyway, that's my reaction to Addicted to Minis. I went longer on this one than the last one, but that's fine. And I'm going to recommend to Addicted to Minis, find yourself a good loupe. That way, and when you use them, the key is you don't try to go like this. It's harder to see what you're doing. You bring everything up to your camera lens closer. Then you can get almost the whole coin. Well, with dimes you can anyway, the whole coin in the picture at one time. A quarter, you'd need a little bit bigger lens, or you'd have to back it off slightly. I can almost get the whole thing in, but it starts to lose focus, so it works great with dimes though. We'll pull this one back up again. You can get the loupe If I can get the light off of the coin. There we go. That's a little bit better. Get the whole coin in the loupe and see everything on the coin. That makes for a better looking video and a better looking presentation of the actual coin. Anyway, I hope everyone has a good day, and if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. We will see you next time.